Hey, good morning. Hi, this is Carrie Postal with Abacus Business Solutions. With our Tuesday training, we have now moved our training from Wednesday to Tuesday, so make a note of that. Apologize for being a couple of hours late. I had something come up that I could not put off and needed to get done first. So if you're not able to catch this live, then please give me a comment replay if you are catching this on the replay. Okay, so let's jump straight in. So this week we are talking about real-time data. So we're talking about, what is the importance of having real-time numbers? So we're going to be a little bit of active participation on this one. So at the end of each section that I talk about, and we're going to have 5 today, I'm going to ask you a question where I'm going to ask you to rate yourself. It's not something you have to share with us, so don't worry. I'm not going to ask you to put it in the comment box unless you want to, of course. But it's something that I want you to think about and to really self-evaluate where you're at with having up-to-date numbers, accurate numbers, and using your information on a week-to-week basis rather than maybe month-to-month or not at all. So please, just do that self-evaluation. It really helps you to really engage and to see where you are and help you to understand, okay, what do I need to do different? Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, number one, is understanding your financial goals. It's really important that you're setting financial goals, or sometimes people like to call them targets, and then tracking them as well. So if you're going to have that goal, that target, you have to know where you are at right now and where do you want to get to. And so when you're talking about financial goals, if you're at $500,000 in revenue now and you want to get to $750,000 in revenue, how are you going to know when you get there? How are you going to know? Is that something you will know? Oh my gosh, we just hit 750 right now. Or is it going to be several months after the fact? Like, oh, wow, in June this year, we hit our 750 goal. That's awesome. And then it becomes kind of like a, non-celebratory event because it was 2 months ago and you're way past that. So you want to make sure that what is your goal that you're aiming for? Where are you at right now? And what is it going to take to get you there? And how are you going to know when you hit that goal? That's the important thing, knowing when you hit it and then celebrating. That is a huge part of being in business and growing your business and making sure that, you take that time to celebrate because that was a major achievement that you did to get there. Celebrate it. Okay, now what's the next goal? So when you're in construction, you need to know all those up-to-date numbers all the time. You need to know where are your goals at? What are you looking for? How many more jobs does that mean that you have to get? How many more clients do you need to be looking for? What do all those numbers look like that tie into hitting those particular goals? So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 not being confident, 5 being very confident, how confident are you in setting and tracking your financial goals throughout the year? So on a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you in setting and tracking your financial goals throughout the year? Again, you don't have to post them unless you want to. But think about that and just really be honest with yourself. So point number 2 is having that real-time financial awareness. So there are a lot of business owners out there that don't get their bookkeeping done until the end of the year because they have to file taxes. Or they may do it every quarter or every 6 months. And it's just something that is not a priority in their business, whether it's because they don't think they can afford to, whether because they don't place enough importance on it, or because they just don't even know where to start with it. And so they determine, I have money in the bank, I'm doing okay. I don't have to worry about that. So making sure that you have up-to-date numbers enables you to look at those reports on a weekly basis, a monthly basis at the absolute minimum, so that you can see how is your business performing, where is your revenue at, where are your costs at, how are your projects performing. When you're in the construction industry, plumbing and HVAC and electrical, you've got these jobs that are starting and you need to be tracking how well each job is performing. So when you've got costs hitting, they need to be getting into your accounting software. When you're creating invoices, they need to be going through your accounting software so that you can see how is that job going. Are there any change orders that need to be done? Are there any unexpected costs or improvements that had to be made along the way that now change the final price? So all these different things are critical for you to know. And people, in accounting, we call it job costing. I know that's not a term that's particularly favorable, but you have to know how each project performed. Did you make money? Did you make a loss? That is what you need to know as a business owner. And if you're not keeping up to date on those numbers and not keeping all of that information in one place like QuickBooks, then you're not going to be able to easily see, okay, great, I made $2,000 on that project. Oh, shoot, I lost $500 on that. What happened? What happened? What went well? What didn't go well? What can I learn from that? So it's really important that you are managing your costs, whether that's labor, materials, whatever it might be in those construction projects. You need to be managing those. You need to know exactly where you're at and what you can do different next time so that you make more profit on a job. Okay, so let's rate yourself here from 1 to 5, 1 being rarely, 5 being weekly. How often do you review your financial numbers in real time? So rate yourself from 1 to 5 and how often you review your financial numbers. 1, rarely, or 5, weekly. Okay, point number 3, year-end preparedness. So having a year-end, most people have that fiscal year-end being December and the same year as the tax year-end. So you want to make sure you have a smooth year-end close. You don't want to be in January trying to find all your receipts and invoices and trying to put together all your books so that your CPA can do your taxes. Yes, you need your numbers done in order to be able to get your taxes done, but there's so much data that you can get from those books throughout the entire year that can help you run a more profitable business. If you're not looking at your numbers throughout the year, you are missing out on so many opportunities to increase your profitability, grow your revenue, reduce your costs. There's so many different facts of information that your books are giving you that can really, really impact your business in a very positive way if you're looking at it on a regular basis. So make sure that, just by getting your books done throughout the year on a weekly basis, that helps to have a really smooth year end, because by the time you get to the end of the December, all of the rest of the year is done. It's all reconciled. You've reviewed it, you've checked it, invoices, receipts are on in place, and you feel confident that, okay, I can hand this over to my CPA to do my taxes. And I've had all that information all year long to make really good, sound financial decisions. Another reason to make sure you have your books up to date throughout the year is so that your CPA or tax professional can be looking at your books throughout the year and see where you're on a track for tax-wise. You don't want to get, a surprise bill in, January, February, March time of like, hey, you owe $40,000. You had an amazing year, great job, but now you owe $40,000. And I always say to people that, hey, having a tax bill is a good thing because it means you are profitable. Now you want to make sure you don't overpay in taxes, but it's okay to pay taxes. It means you made money. The thing that so many people forget is to save for those taxes throughout the year, and they just go and spend that money or pull it out of the company. So by being on top of your numbers throughout the whole year, with having your tax professional looking at your books at the end of each quarter, making sure that you're on track, that you've got money saved, put aside. If you're an S Corp or C Corp, you've got payroll going through, you're paying enough in taxes. Just make sure that you have all of that in place as well. Okay, so rate yourself now. How prepared are you for a smooth end of year close? So 1, not prepared at all, or 5, fully prepared. And be honest with yourself on this one. So how prepared are you for a smooth end of year close? Okay, number 4, cost saving strategies. So it's really important that you're looking at those numbers on a weekly basis, like I said, minimum a monthly basis, to look at that, where is your money going to? Where are all those expenses? Where can you save money? Where can you be looking at different areas of, like, maybe you need to be looking at a different supplier. Maybe you need to ask for a discount because of the volume of purchases you make from somebody. If you don't have all this information and real-time data, then it makes it really hard for you to go to someone and say, hey, I spent $300,000 with you so far this year. Can we talk about maybe an additional discount because you are my go-to supplier? So when you have all of that information there at your fingertips, you can see exactly where every single penny in your business is going to. Where is it going that it shouldn't be going to? Where do you need to make changes? Do you have any subscriptions that you're paying for that you're not using anymore? So there's lots of different areas that, having your books up to date in real-time data can give you so much information that can really help you to increase your profitability as well. Okay, so this one, on a scale of 1 to 5, how effective are you at identifying and implementing cost-saving strategies in your business? So 1, not effective at all. 5, highly effective. So how effective are you at identifying and implementing cost-saving strategies in your business? Okay, and final point number 5, adaptability to financial changes. So when you have your numbers up to date, when you have that real-time information, it makes it a lot easier to adapt and change when different circumstances come up. For example, think back to March of 2020, COVID hit. Those people that had their books up to date, that knew their real-time data, that knew where they were for the year, were at a much better position to be able to plan forward through the next few months when there were shutdowns and closures and everything else that was going on. they had a better idea as to where their business was at, what was going to need to be paid, and what they needed in funds in order to be able to meet all of those expenses. So it's really important that having that information allows you to pivot quickly if you need to. It allows you to make those quick decisions because, like, okay, I can see my numbers right in front of me. I can see how my business is doing, how it's performing, where it's at, and like, okay, this crazy thing just happened in the world. What do I need to do? How am I going to get through it? I can see my numbers. Okay, now I can plan the way forward. So it's really important that having that information is really going to help you to grow. It's going to help you to be resilient with whatever comes up. And it's going to help you to be able to, just really be one step ahead of your competition. And then also with having your different bank accounts set up as well for all those different aspects that we've talked about in the past, for your income, operating expenses, owner's pay, profit, tax, payroll, your sales tax if you have sales tax, materials, subcontractors. When you have all those different accounts set up as well, that really then helps you even more so to be able to make sure that you can pay all those bills that you have coming up as well. Okay, so finally, rate yourself on your ability to adapt to financial changes and to make real-time decisions from 1 to 5. So 1, that you would struggle to adapt, and 5, you would be able to easily adapt in that situation. Okay, so those are our 5 points that I wanted to cover today. Understanding your financial goals, your real-time financial awareness, year-end preparedness, cost-saving strategies, and your adaptability to financial changes. All areas that are super critical to the success of your business, to increasing the profitability in your business, and being able to change and move, as you need to throughout the year, as circumstances change, as things that are going on that impact your business. When you know your numbers, you can then do what you need to do. You can make that financial decision to be able to keep moving forward. So I would love for you to comment below, what was your big takeaway from today's training? What is it that really stuck out to you that you feel that is something that you need to take away from this? Or maybe this is a training that you need to share with a fellow business owner that you think would benefit from this as well. Thanks for listening, watching. We'll see you next time.